Wellness Day 2021. My name is Kim Marshall, and I'm the host of the Global Wellness Summit podcast and the co-founder of Swell Public Relations. You know, it's hard to believe I've been involved since Global Wellness Day launched internationally in 2014. We've come so far, starting from one country and now being celebrated in over 7,000 locations in 150 countries on 6 continents. And amazingly, each celebration is built around free wellness education. But of course, the past 2 celebrations have been shadowed by a global pandemic and moved to online for the most part. So it's fitting that this second year of a global live stream celebration has the theme of protecting our mental wellness. That's why our guest today is such a ray of light, literally. Let me introduce to you Fred Maxick, Chief Scientific Officer and founder of Healthy Inc., a light sciences company. You know, Fred and I met at the first ever hybrid Global Wellness Summit in Palm Beach, Florida last November, where Healthy helped clean the indoor air for us at the Breakers Resort. And I was able to interview him for an episode of the Global Wellness Summit podcast. Fred, tell us who you are, please, and what your mission has to do with wellness.
So I am a physicist by training, a tinkerer by avocation, and have worked probably since I was a teenager in trying to manipulate light and sound and all other aspects of our matter and nature. I'm a firm believer in sustainability and resilience. And my company, Healthy Inc., has really sort of taken the lead on how we utilize light at the intersection of light and life.
How especially do you think circadian lighting and clean indoor air has to do with wellness? How especially?
So I think at this point it's gotten almost rather obvious that our health and wellness can be profoundly impacted by the environments that we live in, that we work in, we shop in. And to begin with, circadian health was pretty much neglected for decades since we invented the light bulb 140 odd years ago. And when you think about it, it's obvious, right? When we go out during the daytime, we walk out in sunlight and we are energized. We're up in the morning, we feel that. And what that really is actually these photoreceptors, these photosensitive ganglion receptors in our eye, getting a signal from the sunlight to say, hey, it is daytime, wake up. We are these diurnal creatures that evolved with night and day cycles. And because of that, it's wonderful when we go out. But what happened is when we created these light bulbs, we brought that sunlight back inside with us. And that same signal we were giving in the morning, we were giving in the evening. And that signal is the wrong signal. It creates almost this dystopian effect on our circadian regulation, which causes us not to sleep well. It causes retardance of our hormones when we're supposed to secrete them in the evening. It slows our body down from healing. It interrupts our deep sleep and our healing sleep. So there's all these things that essentially need to be readdressed with lighting. And we need to change and alter the spectrum in ways that we can still see by it, but that doesn't have all these adverse effects to our health, our wellness, our sleep, and our circadian wellness.
We know, you and I have been talking a lot about the COVID issue and how light can become a real groundbreaker, a real solution for this malady that's come upon mankind. How is that true, Fred? What does UVC light have to do? So
we have known for decades that UVC light in general is a wonderful sort of anti-pathogen device, right? We've been using it in operating theaters for at least several decades now, and we use it to clean all sorts of things, everything from medical instruments to restaurants, to air in restaurants and some of the upper air applications we have today. So we've always known this. What's novel about the last about 15 years of work has been we've developed yet another spectrum of UVC called far UVC. And this centers around 222 nanometers. So you'll see a lot of 222 on a lot of the products out there that we make. And the reason for that is 222 has some novel properties. It is effective at inactivating pathogens. It is effective at helping us clean our environment. But the natural properties of 222 are such that it doesn't penetrate human skin or the tear layer of eyes. So we're seeing greater and greater recognition from all these journals and all these university studies today that 222 appears to be a very, very, very safe way we can go forward in the future. And again, these journals are around the world, everywhere from the UK to Columbia University in New York, to Kobe University in Japan, and the studies continue to have the same results.
If we're talking about mental wellness, I can't think of a better anxiety reducer than knowing that I walk into an elevator, which is like a pathogen passageway, every time someone's in, every time someone's out, but there's far UVC light cleaning the air. Why is that so good?
Well, I mean, for exactly the reasons we talked about, right? It's allowing us in real time to clean the air as people are in and out of the space, which will dilute or change the concentration for the better of these potential pathogens that might harm us. But the real key, I think, to the mental wellness of this is this is a well-studied technology. When we see it being deployed in areas we want to be in, it instills confidence. It gives us that ease and that peace of mind that says, okay, people are doing something about this. We're not just regathering it and redoing the same thing that got us in trouble the first time. This is a way we can take the best knowledge, the best scientific knowledge, the best data we have, and apply it and build ourselves a more robust, a more resilient environment for us to go forward in.
And I will tell you, we recently, you and I did a panel that showed what happens when someone in a subway sneezes with a mask and without a mask, right? And the last 2 cases of people that I know personally who've gotten COVID have been wearing masks, but their colleagues did not. So why do you think we need this more than just washing a wall down with a sanitizer?
Well, so this is a technology that will deal with airborne pathogens as well as surface pathogens. So it sort of gives us both in one shot. But the reality is we have to develop good habits. If we are going to have highly contagious pathogens around us and we're going to live in an environment that has those, we're going to still have to do some common sense kind of things. If a mask is appropriate, we should ask people to wear masks. The next pathogen may have multiple modalities of contagions. So I think we want to build systems that could deal with both, just to be safe, because that will help us. So while this is highly likely, predominantly an airborne contagion, I think we have to consider one that may not be in the future as well.
A lot of our listeners will have been to a Global Wellness Summit a time or two, at least. And I was so amazed at the gateway we walked through to sort of zap pathogens as we went into the conference room that was socially distanced. And our podcast booth, we were sitting 14 feet apart, but you can't wear a mask and talk into a microphone. So you guys brought a sign over that you couldn't see, but was emitting far UVC. Do you know how good the numbers were after that gathering? Are you aware of that, Fred?
I heard the numbers were 0.
0, right. Everybody, there was 120 people. They all were tested when they arrived, all negative, because, that was November too, a very peak time. And it was in Florida. But healthy lifestyles helped. And then when everybody went home, not one person had caught COVID, right?
Anecdotally, it's wonderful. I think we need to show people how we both behave and how we build things in our environment to make that continue to happen that way. And I think that was a good demonstration of, if you still want to get together and do those types of events, there is a way to do it. So we were happy to participate and very happy with the outcome.
Well, I want everyone who's listening to know that with solutions like this out there, this is what Belgin Aksoy did when she survived cancer. And she said, people have to focus on wellness, not National Donut Day, not National Jelly Bean Day, but how can we help each other stay well? And so, Fred, from the Global Wellness Day organization to you, thank you for looking for solutions. We need them. And I think together we can say, I say yes to wellness. Happy Global Wellness Day, Fred.
Thank you, Kim. It's wonderful to participate. A wonderful idea around global wellness and the avocation of how we bring this world together as one to live a healthier and better life. Because if we don't do that, we will fail the generations in front of us and behind us in a way that we just can't let happen. So
we can't let it happen. And we want to let people know there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Absolutely. In many, many colors.
Thank you, Fred.
Thank you.